Morning. Some technical difficulties again this morning, guys. Apologize. All right, we're going to get started here in a minute. All right, let's go ahead and get started. And we'll get started by reviewing our risk disclosure briefly. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see that. Okay, all right, so our risk disclosure again, just to kind of remind everyone here that the content that is published and distributed by the market trader and its affiliates is to be treated as general information only. None of the information provided by the company or contained herein is intended as investment advice and offer to sell, recommend, buy, endorse, sponsor any security, company, or fund. Okay. We all understand that futures does carry a fair amount of risk and that it's not for every investor, and that an investor could potentially lose all or more of their initial investment. Okay. Only risk capital money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle should be used for trading, and only those individuals with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Again, nothing contained herein is intended as investment advice to buy, sell options, futures, or Forex. And past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right. So now that we got the risk disclosure out of the way, guys, we'll go ahead and start reviewing a little bit our news, what news we have in store for the markets. So we'll go ahead and stop sharing this aspect, and we'll share the news portal that I use. Okay, so looking at the news portal, we do not have much in the way of news. I was going to say we have a lot of news, but that's coming up for tomorrow. Okay, so we have some import prices month over month that have been reported here already, but nothing else in the way of news. Tomorrow is the day where we're getting the bonanza. Okay, we have retail sales, jobless claims. A bunch of news, crude oil inventories, a bunch of news coming in tomorrow, but that's not affecting us today. So we'll go ahead and move on to the markets. And the first market of choice here, as normal, will be the gold market. Okay. So we'll go ahead and move to the platform here. Okay. Start to share my screen here. Look at the window. All right. So you should be seeing my platform window now, my chart window, I should say. We're going to expand this here a little bit. We're going to remove this big red sea of red here. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and start reviewing the markets. Okay. So we're not going to start with a 2-minute chart. We're going to start with the daily chart. And again, the daily chart, again, is going to tell us, what's the general context? What's the general market context of the market? Well, if you've been around already for some time here, you know that the gold market has been in a very strong bullish market. It's been a very strong bullish market. So we have our series of higher highs and higher lows. We're now challenging this 2,700 number. Okay, that could historically has been resistant. Okay, and we're challenging that now, right? We at 2697.3. Okay, so based on the daily chart, we're very much bullish. I would say that this area right here could present itself a little bit to be a little bit resistant, at least initially. Okay, but if we do end up breaking 2,700, then we're looking at new highs here in the gold market. All right, looking at the daily, not the daily, the 4-hour. Okay, looking at the 4-hour chart. Okay, I have a little bit of an overlay here on the right, which will serve us well when we talk about it in a little bit lower time frame. But I do like having the visibility as to what the higher time frame is doing when I'm looking to take on some positions here. But in any case, right now the 4-hour is indeed making higher highs and higher lows. We just concluded here a nice bullish engulfing candle, not engulfing, but continuation candle above settlement price, and now we're developing yet another bullish candle. We had kind of wicked inside that candle that was rejected, indicating that there's still a fair amount of interest to the upside in this market. And you can see here that the market volume remains bullish. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and drop down to the 30-minute chart. Okay. 30-minute chart. We have, again, all indications, location at reference levels that we use are all above. We have the 233-day EMA. We have the settlement price from yesterday. We have the daily VWAP. Okay, all telling us that we are, headed higher. We're going to go ahead and draw the anchor VWAP while we're at it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and locate the most recent pivot, and that's down here. And you can see that we're also bullish there as well. So a lot of things telling us that we're going to continue higher in this market. Okay, we're going to go ahead and open up ADR. ADR, we've already exceeded or about to exceed the high end of the average daily range. So let's go ahead and add our levels here now. So we're going to go ahead and add levels. Okay, so we'll paste those on here. Okay, so we have average session range, which we have yet to open. We're going to open here now, is at 2707.60. Okay, we have a 4-hour supply that have already somewhat exceeded or basically at the moment. We have average daily range, which also is coming in at this level. I'm going to go ahead and open up our value ranges here. Let's see if we can locate them. There's our value ranges. Going to ensure that they're representing the correct time frame here. So I'm going to modify this to be okay. And let's go ahead and move this to okay. So there's our value ranges. Just going to spot check to make sure that those are accurate. Just going to move down this. We have 2679.4 is settlement. Value area high is 83.30. Value area low at 2670.7. We got 2683.3 is our point of control. No, 2679.7 the point of control. So these levels are all accurate. Okay, so what to make of the market? Okay, well, let's see here. What to do with my stream? Okay, so what to make of this market? Well, we are above everything that we care about. Okay, including I don't see my settlement price at the moment, but I suspect it's down below. Yes, there it is. Okay. So what are we expecting of this market? Well, we're definitely bullish. Okay. So I think the best thing that we can do for ourselves is to be patient. Okay, we're going to go ahead and open up the initial balance range, especially if we're bullish. Okay, this is not the accurate range, so let me go ahead and modify this to the day session. Okay, first hour. Okay, there it is. Okay, so there's our initial balance range. I'm going to go ahead and change that to yellow. Okay, so there's our initial balance range. Okay, so the market remains bullish. We have a rather narrow initial balance range being established here. If we happen to break this initial balance to the upside, well, we have 2707 as a target for that. Okay. If we happen to break to the downside, given the higher time frame, I wouldn't necessarily embrace the shorts. Okay. Any short that I take on is going to be, I guess, how you say, managed closely. Okay, meaning that maybe I take a bearish trade to VWAP or down to maybe the high end of value. Those are kind of the kinds of trades that I would be looking for if I'm looking for the short side, given the strength that we're seeing in the gold market. So those are just a couple of scenarios here, guys. So we have if we're bullish, ideally we'd like to see some sort of pullback. If we extend IB, like to see a pullback, maybe off of 2700 seems to be a logical place, and then maybe we get a move back up to 2707. Okay. If we're more bearish, well, this would be a good location. We have this supply levels 2700. Well, unfortunately, we're not seeing that. The candle formations to really embrace that. Right? We have bullish candles with wicks on the bottom, indicating that we still have a fair amount of strength and momentum to the upside. Okay, so that's kind of my view of gold. If we don't have, just going to take a peek here to see if we have any questions. I don't see them, so we're going to go ahead and just move on to the crude oil market. Okay, looking at the crude oil market. So here we are, and we're about to open here in about 4 minutes here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start looking at the, I don't know why I have this gray area here highlighting the whole region, but in any case, we're going to go ahead and turn off some of these indicators, and hopefully that'll free up some of the real estate. Okay, so yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Let's take a look at the daily chart to start. Okay, looking at the daily. All right, we have let's turn off this channel here. All right. Okay, it's a little bit better. Let's turn off this Fibonacci as well. All right. Okay, so looking at the daily, we can see the daily is making lower lows and lower highs. Okay. Right, making lower lows and lower highs of recently. I mean, if I just look at the most recent set of candles here, okay, lower lows and lower highs. Okay, now if we get some greater amount of context here, you can see that we responded off of a demand level. Okay, and we're coming back to retest that same level. Okay, so but overall, of late, we've been a bit in a bearish mode, and we have. Looks like we're getting a little bit of interest to the buy side here, as you can witness here with the wicks. But we're still a day away from seeing these candles close out. Okay, looking at the 4-hour chart. Okay, 4-hour chart. We're starting to get some indication that maybe there might be a bullish move in the horizon in the crude oil market. We have a nice formation that's forming here, a little push higher. We got a push and retest lower that was met with some more buying. So if we do get above, say, 70.96 or 70.71, then I would say that maybe there is some momentum behind this move. If you look at the volume delta seems to be in agreement. and you look at ADR or ADX in this case, we see that the momentum is strong, but it's in the wrong direction that we're looking for. Okay, so this ADX is still not aligned. We don't have the positive indicator above the negative at this point. Okay, all right, moving on to the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart. Okay, here we are. We have again a couple of series of candles. Now we're starting to see the positive indicator get above the negative indicator. So we're starting to see some signs here that maybe there is some momentum to the upside in this move. We're going to go ahead and add our ADR here. Let's go ahead and add our ADR. We'll go ahead and add our ASR. Okay, ASR, if it's here, it should be here. What's that? Change so much. ASR, there it is. Okay, so there's a couple of areas of interest. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add our levels. Okay, add our levels here. Okay, there are levels. All right. The next thing we're gonna add here is our value ranges. Okay, so here they are. All right, we're gonna double confirm that they're accurate. We'll need to probably adjust these a little bit to this market. So we'll move this to 9 o'clock, and our initial balance range from 8:30 to also 9 to 10. Okay, so we'll modify that. All right, go ahead and click OK. And then we'll just kind of double confirm some of these levels here. Okay, so we have, let's see, we have our ASR here at 71.97. We have ADR above us at 72.48. I had it a little bit higher, looks like. 72.53. We have our value area high, which looks like that we are exceeding to the upside at 70.70. We have value area low at 70.10. Let's see, 70.10, yeah. Point of control at 70.64. Okay, so these levels are intact. So given what we're seeing right now, go ahead and open up initial balance here. Okay, there's our initial balance range. So price is getting above our daily VWAP. We're going to go ahead and add our anchor VWAP here to the bottom of the market here. So let's do that. If I can locate what the anchor VWAP, there it is. Okay, so I'll choose somewhere in the middle of the London session. Okay, so you can see here that price is above daily and anchor VWAP. We're kind of flirting with settlement price at the moment. Okay, there's settlement. All right, which could cause the market to reverse. Okay, this location. Okay, so we have a relatively narrow initial balance range. If we happen to break the settlement price and maybe break above initial balance high, that could lead to a rally up to maybe 72, or at least the high of day. Okay. If settlement price and we get a break below, then maybe we come back to test the lows of the day. Okay. Back to value area high, maybe as low as value area high. So I'll be looking to see levels are not there yet. Thought I had added them. Maybe I didn't. Okay, there are levels. Okay. Okay, so those are our levels for this market. So we're at a location where we could potentially get a reversal. Okay, settlement price could generate a reversal at these prices. So we'll have to see how price reacts here, and if we do indeed get a candle to close here rather bearish. Okay. Otherwise, we're going to wait for the initial balance range to establish and then determine which direction we're going to take this market. Okay. All right. Let's move on to our let's see, I'm going to stop share here for a second, guys. We're going to locate. Okay. Let's go ahead and locate our NASDAQ market here. Okay. And we'll go ahead and reshare here, guys. I know I'm not sharing my charts at the moment, so we'll do that now. Okay, you guys should see my charts now. Okay, so here we are back live. All right. So taking a look at this market, we're going to go ahead and again turn off some of our levels here. Okay, we're going to start with the daily chart. Okay, we're going to go ahead and remove some of all our indications. Okay, so looking at this, we had a rather strong bearish day yesterday. Okay, we had an engulfing candle, and now currently we have an inside candle. Okay, in an otherwise bullish market, right? So we haven't really broken any significant levels, as I would say, as of yet. I would say that. Certainly getting below and a close below, say, 20,286 would be of significance. If I were to draw my channels here, trying to debate which angle I should take this, but let's do something along these kind of lines. Okay, again, as long as we remain in this kind of upside channel, um, we would probably need to get below 20,000. I would say that before I would kind of start to think that maybe we are heading lower. Now we are getting some early indications here. Okay, we have a bearish engulfing candle. We have not made any new highs here in the last day. Okay, so it does feel a little bit heavy, but again, the idea is that the channel is going to keep me on the right side of this market. All right. Looking at the 4-hour chart. Okay. Looking at the 4-hour chart, we seem to be kind of hovering here at the low end of the market. We're just above settlement from yesterday and really not reacting away from it all that much, to be honest, here. So again, a pretty significant candle here. Looks like it was maybe a little bit news driven here. And then we haven't really made any inroads back inside this area, right? So there's still a fair number of sellers in this market. Okay, maybe potentially holding this down. Now, if I am more of the bullish, then I need to see price get above say 20,400, okay, before I can even begin to entertain any sort of bullish trades. Okay, moving on to the 30-minute chart. Okay, looking at the 30-minute chart, here we are. I'm going to go ahead and remove the channels here. Don't need them just yet. This for a higher time frame anyway. Okay, so we're kind of hovering at settlement price. Okay, this could eventually serve as maybe a springboard for price to kind of launch from. Notice that we haven't really made any inroads in either direction at this point, and we're just hovering on top of it. Right, we have a developing bullish engulfing candle. But again, like I said, for me, I really don't want to be a part of this kind of movement here. Right, I need some sort of definitive move outside this range, right, either to the upside or to the downside, and then I'd like to participate in some sort of retest. Okay. So let's go ahead and start to add some of our levels here. So the first thing I'm going to add here is our ADR. And then the next thing I'm going to add is ASR. And so those are kind of our levels. We're kind of in the middle of the market here. The next thing I'm going to add is our the levels that I've established here. So we'll go ahead and add those here. Okay, we'll need to modify these a little bit because the average session range has indeed changed. So we're going to go ahead and modify this to 515, 75. Okay, and then on the low end we have 20,264. So we'll modify that 264, 264. Okay. All right, and we'll just copy that in now. That's some new levels. Okay. Bum, bum, bum. Okay. All right. So let's double check some other levels now. Okay. We'll go ahead and add our value area. Okay. We'll double check to make sure that the value area is being calculated for the right times. So we're going to go ahead and modify this to 30. Okay. It's not. And then our initial balance range is also 30 and then 30. Okay. All right. So now we are in sync, so to speak. So we're just going to double check 447.75, 297 as our value area low, point of control at 380, settlement price at 20,333. So all this looks in order here. Not really, to be honest, super excited by what the overnight was able to accomplish with the Nasdaq market. It seems like it's potentially waiting for some sort of news, some maybe additional guidance as to where to take this. It could be waiting for some more news events tomorrow that could maybe add some volatility to the market. But since the close of yesterday, we've been in a very tight range here. Okay, so not really super excited. Also, the fact that we're inside value also is an indication that we could be in kind of range trade today. Okay, so I'm going to be super patient. I'm going to wait for price to kind of tell me what direction it wants to take it. I'm going to wait for my initial balance range and then kind of from there move forward. But right now, I don't feel like there is really anything for me to do unless I enjoy range kind of price action. Right, a lot of overlapping prices happening here. Not really any definitive direction in either way. Now, we did get a nice sell off on the market here. Okay, I say nice sell off depending on your viewpoint of what direction you want to have the market go. So now the question is are the bulls are they going to make any sort of headway here into this swing lower? If they are, well, we need to see a new high of some sort, right? And then, certainly, value area high could be an area where we could see some resistance. Okay. So we have right now we're hovering right at the daily VWAP. I'm going to go ahead and draw my anchor VWAP here. Probably back to the top here. So here are kind of our lines in the sand here. Okay. So you can see here our anchor VWAP is relatively flat. We have yet to close above it. So that's also, again, an indication that there's still a fair amount of pressure to the downside. I do see that we have a developing bullish engulfing candle that's going to close out here in about 7 minutes, 17 minutes, I should say. That could give us some indication of where they want to take this market, right? So right now, I don't think there's really much of anything to do. We're inside value. All right. Even though we have this bullish engulfing candle, I need some further evidence to determine what direction they plan on taking this market. Right now, given this swing, I feel like I need to be selling some sort of strength. Okay. Maybe back up to this ADR high range. Well, ADR high is well above. Yeah, ADR high here, maybe somewhere in this range. Maybe ASR could be an area where I would maybe like to think more short, okay, more bearish kind of trades. If I'm thinking bullish, well, we have an area now that we can manage our risk The only problem that I have with it is that we probably need to manage it a little bit, close, because of this major swing. Sellers could step in at any time. Okay. So, levels like value area high could be an area where we could potentially, see sellers step back in. Okay. So any bullish trade, I would say, probably needs to be at least the first target up to value area high. And then from there, we'll have to see what price action does. There's also maybe an outside possibility we get maybe back up to some of these average daily ranges, average session ranges. Okay. All right. Before we move on to the last market of the day, I'm just gonna I encourage you guys to hit the likes and subscribes. We have 27 participants in the room. We have 18 likes. Again, if what I'm sharing with you does resonate with you, has supported you in some sort of fashion in your navigation of the markets, I would encourage you guys to hit the like buttons, even the likes and subscribes. Even better would be like, subscribe, and comment. These were all would be beneficial to me. Okay. You're welcome, Thomas. All right. So let's now that I've gone off my kind of marketing here, let's move on to the last market of the day, and that's you're welcome, Frizu. The ES. All right, so let's take a look at ES. All right, so here's the ES. We'll shut some of these things down here and first look at it from a higher time frame. Okay, and look and see what the market is trying to accomplish. Okay, well, up until yesterday, I would say that the market has been trying to get us higher, and even with yesterday, we remain in a bullish structure to the upside. Okay, all right, we haven't really broken any significant levels to the downside as yet, and like I said, like I normally draw, if I draw my channel here. Okay, we haven't broken any significant channel to the downside. Okay, we are at the precipice of potentially breaking, but we have yet to break, and we won't know the answer to that question until the end of today. Sorry, a little bit of frog in my throat today, guys. For our chart. Okay, so for our chart, we're going to go ahead and turn off some of these levels here so that they don't interfere with our review of the markets here. Okay, so here we are again, similar channel. I've been kind of in a horizontal price action of late, as I mentioned. Overnight trading didn't really offer much of anything in any sort of direction. Just kind of idling here after a big sell-off, maybe digesting and maybe figuring out what to do next. Okay, so we'll see what the open of the market has, but I mean, if we do get maybe a move lower, that could be the I guess the match that would require maybe a little bit more significant sell-off in this market, maybe down to the lows here at say 57.48. Okay. If we manage to get back inside the channel, then maybe we get back to say the highs of Wednesday. Okay, 59.16, maybe beyond. Okay, so right now, like I said, we are still in a bullish channel, but we are in an area where we're challenging it. Okay, we're on the bottom end of that channel. Okay, looking at the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart. Okay, we're going to go ahead and actually remove the channel here for a bit. Okay, and take a closer look at where we are with respect to our levels. And so, like I said, it does feel a little bit maybe that we are potentially heading lower in this market, given this swing. Okay, so let's see. First thing I'm going to add here to this chart is our ADR levels. We're right smack in the middle of them. We're going to then add our value ranges. Well, we're on the bottom of the end of value. Okay, so again, this is another reference level. So if we do close below, say, this value area and this 233-day EMA, that maybe opens the door for maybe some price exploration down to ADR low. Okay, so let's go ahead and add our levels here, guys, for this market. Okay, so here are our levels. There's our levels for this market. There they are. And then I'm going to get back to my screen here. All right. So yeah, so just kind of spot check some of these things. So we have value area high coming in at 58.97, which is in line. Average daily range high is coming in at 58.91. That's also in line. We have average session range, which we have yet to add, but will most likely change on us. We have 58.43 on the low end of average session range. 58.43. Let's see what this is saying. This is London. Okay, so 58.43. We can adjust that maybe. So 58.43 is on the low end. Okay, and then on the high end we have 58.888, which we've already captured. Okay, so similar kind of view that I have here. Market does feel a little bit heavy, and if I'm going to, I guess, follow the footsteps of this swing here, then there's certainly an expectation that we could break below value low, below this EMA, and that could spearhead maybe a move lower. We notice here that our reactions off this EMA have been quite mild. Okay, so far, right? We got down to this EMA level, really didn't get much of a reaction. A little bit of reaction, maybe slightly bullish, but we still have hovered around it. So that kind of, for me, it speaks volumes that maybe that we are maybe thinking that maybe the market is going to head a little bit lower. Okay, so if I'm bullish, well, I'm going to be looking at some lower levels here. Maybe the average session range, maybe the average daily range could offer me some opportunities maybe for a bullish trade. But for now, I would say that my view of this market seems to be, or is bearish. Okay, I would need to see price to get above at least 58.70 before I would change my tune. Okay, right now I'm feeling like this is the swing that's in control of the market. Overnight did not provide any sort of guidance or any sort of resistance on that front. And so yeah, we'll have to wait to see how this market opens here in the next 9 minutes. All right, so last market we're going to take a look at is the YM. Okay, look at the YM and see what that is saying. So we have, let's see, right, so kind of similar kind of story here. We are hovering around value area low. So we're just going to we're quickly go ahead and add some of our levels here. I'm not going to go through the multi-time frame analysis because I can see based on the 4-hour that we are kind of following the same kind of swing that we had in the other markets. Okay, so it appears that we have like a swing to the downside, and we really haven't responded back and with any sort of vigor in the opposite direction. Okay, so ADR here, ADR high is coming in at 43.230. So I'm going to put that in 43.230. 43.230 is our ADR high. Okay, we have value area high coming in at 43.174, 43.174. That's our value area high. And then we have point of control at 43.060. That's our POC. Settlement price is coming in at 43. What is that? 43.003. Okay, 43.003. That's our settlement price. And then we have value area low coming in at 42.990. 42. 990 is our value area low. And then our ADR low is coming in at looks like 42,800, maybe 42,792. So 42,792 is our ADR low. Okay. So again, similar to these other markets, guys, the market feels a little bit bearish to me. Okay. We'll have to wait and see what the initial balance holds. But based on this kind of series of candles that I'm seeing, what I'm seeing on the higher time frame is a lot of indecision. We're kind of following up on a swing from yesterday to the downside. If we start to see maybe price break below 42,975, then I would say that there's a reasonable chance that we could maybe come and visit the ADR ASR low that I mentioned earlier. Okay, maybe as low as ADR low. Okay, but first things first, I need to get myself out of this range. There was an attempt to break out of this range to the upside. That was met with sellers. Okay. Now the question is have the sellers kind of taken control of this market? If so, then I need to see a new low. I need price to get below settlement. I need price to get below my daily VWAP. Okay. With that said, I'm going to add my anchor VWAP here. So we'll place that up here, sort of the beginning of the market from yesterday. Again, that's it came up to anchor VWAP and reversed. Okay. So again, if I'm going to entertain any longs, I need to get above 43.50 for 43.55. Those are kind of my areas. If I'm going to participate in any sort of long trade and use the settlement price or my daily VWAP as a reference level or anchor VWAP for that matter, price needs to get above 43.50. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a little line in the sand here for myself. If I am more of the bullish variety here, this would be an area that that I would need to see price break above in order for me to embrace the longs. Okay. If I'm short, I feel like I'm already kind of at a retail price at short. So for me personally, I'd like to see maybe a break below and then a retest of that same level before I entertain short. If I'm long, well, I've established a pretty strong base here, a pretty strong fence line. All I need now is price to get above 43,050, and that could give me enough of an impetus to get to maybe the other side of value, or to this ADR or ASR high. Okay, so that's kind of what I see in the market, guys. With 4 minutes to spare. Given some of the technical difficulties I had earlier this morning, I didn't think I was going to get done with 4 minutes to spare, to be honest. So happy to entertain any questions that you guys might have on any of the markets with the last bit of time that I have remaining. Yes, definitely hit the like buttons, guys. Likes and subscribes. Don't be afraid to comment on those likes after you make them. And things of that nature that goes a long way to supporting me and the content that I'm providing. Okay. All right. So if there's no questions, then I'm going to be moving on to my channel here and on Discord on Top Step for an hour or so, and then I use the defaults for my, I basically, my anchor VWAP, I don't change it other than tell it where I want it to start. That's all I change. Okay. I just tell it where I want it to start. In this case, I chose this pivot. I say, okay, and then after that, I don't change anything. Okay. All right. So I just give it to the location of where I want it to start. And I usually pick a location where I see it turning. I see it turn. Okay. So I saw a turn here. That's where I'd like to have my anchor VWAP. Okay. All right, guys. Well, that's it for me. Like I said, I'm going to be kind of maybe on the lookout for this potential happening. Okay. If we do get a close above this, say 42.50, that could cause maybe a little bit of a rally higher. Maybe as high as a value area high. Okay. But if I don't get that and it moves in the opposite direction or continues in the same direction, that it's been in the last 24 hours, then I'll be looking short. But I'm seeing, quite a bit of base being established here around this 42,000 or 43,000 level. So we'll have to see if that's going to generate some sort of move back to the upside. Okay. All right, guys, that's it for me. Want to wish you guys a profitable session, but more importantly, a session where you are following your processes, you're following your edge, because if we do those things well, then the profits that we desire, the equity that we desire will come. Okay. Profits cannot be, profits cannot be front and center in our minds, because if profits are front and center in our minds, then we do things that we think are better aligned to profits, but may or may not be aligned with our edge. Okay. All right. Well, looks like market wants to potentially head lower, or maybe it's heading lower before it heads higher. I'm not sure. But in any case, I'm going to be ready for either direction. Okay. I have my lines drawn, certainly on the bullish side. And we'll have to just wait and see. Okay. All right, guys. So trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. All right, guys. Have an excellent session. I'll see you guys either in Coach's Ray's room on the Top Step Discord server, or at in group coaching later this afternoon at 6 p.m. Central Time. All right. That will be it for me. Bye for now.